I like this look.
Yeah, it's different. It is. It's a little different.
We are live.
All right. Hey, those of you joining us either live or watching this video, it means you're tuning in to Stormfront Freaks Raw. This is episode 69. Raw meaning you're catching, this is the recording. So you're catching everything, all of the screw-ups that we'll edit out of the broadcast version and our audio podcast version. But regardless, thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. If you are on YouTube watching this after the fact, normally about a week or so after we record, we'll also upload the edited broadcast version of this episode, which would be a little shorter, obviously, because it would be edited. So you can keep a lookout for that, too, if you don't want to watch all the crap and break stuff we happen to have.
Which sometimes can be the best part of the show. But
It sometimes can be. I agree.
Sometimes you don't want to spend that much time on it.
Hey, you never know.
You do need to cut your mic somehow because even that part.
It's loud.
Too, it's not necessarily loud. It's just crack. You got your
hot.
peaking.
Is it hot again?
Yep, it's hot.
Really? God
Why does
darn
it
it.
always come back?
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay.
That was better.
All right. We'll try that.
I think.
It always comes back. We're still looking at Maz's nose and mouth.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, we are.
I just saw the topic for tonight. I'm like, for game shows. I'm like,
Yeah, you're gonna like it, buddy. You're gonna like this, Maz. I was cracking up. I was cracking up just thinking of it and thinking of you.
Man. Thinking of me.
No, just thinking of share going through the lightning round, and I'm like,
That's
this
brutal.
is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. What did I
Oh
say? on
no!
Yeah, I just saw it and I'm like, seriously? Dude.
Yeah.
Does Jill know you're doing these topics?
I always share with her. Usually after the fact. But
Yeah,
Oh
really.
my!
Okay, I am not seeing why this is not accepting my. The camera. That's
you're going to your settings, right?
Yeah, I'm under settings and it won't pop up.
But you don't
anything
see your camera.
other than webcam. It just says webcam.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah, I did that 3 times.
Oh,
That's why I'm
okay.
like, I did happen
Yeah.
to drop my laptop just a second ago trying to
Well,
plug in the Ethernet. So I'm like, oh, please don't let that have been the problem.
I had that trouble with a mic once, or with a camera once too, and I never recovered from it. I had to actually go to my laptop and use my laptop because my other one doesn't have a camera unless it's the external one.
I may have to go.
But you can go with the camera, the built-in. You can just it works.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with that. Yeah.
If you can get your head up higher in the screen, that would
Hold
be
my head up.
Yeah, or
Hold your head
Head
high.
hold your head high. Yeah.
I'm gonna send Joe another email. He did say he when we did the sound check yesterday, he said he maybe wanted to try his phone as well, just in case he was gonna be in transit or something like that. But that was when he thought it was at 7 and not at 9. So when we said 9, he's like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know, but
He's
I'm gonna
Eastern
send
time,
it
so
again,
should
here
still
is
be the same.
here is the link. Here is the link for tonight.
Excuse me.
All right, send that again.
All right, let's try this. Okay, so that works. Why is it just the camera? Wait a minute. Is it possible I have... Yeah, it's because I plugged in nothing. That's what I'm like, seriously, to clean my desk off here. All right.
You just how's the move come now that it's been a month?
Yeah. The move is it's getting there.
Okay.
Got the boxes you haven't opened yet, so
there
if
we
they
go.
stay that way for another month, you have to not, throw them, or you have to throw them away.
I believe I should be able to park in my own garage here in the next week or two.
Good.
That's a good sign. And we
There's
see
the
you
camera.
better now. There you go.
Okay. There we go.
Good news. All right, it is just it's just the three of us, by the way, tonight.
Okay.
Brady is sick.
Brady.
So
More vitamins.
yeah, and then the girls weren't going to be on anyway. So Maz, you're still doing the introduction.
Okay.
You good on that?
Sure am.
And then you're doing weather WX resources.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's been a busy week.
And and then funny weather memes. I'll do that, or Mark, MJ, if you can introduce funny weather memes too, if you'd like. It's up to you.
Oh, I don't know if you really need me to, but
That's good because I oopsed on both of them. So
Doesn't matter. I mean, since you're doing listener questions right after, I could do
and
it,
I
and then
have
we
a
go back
bunch
to
of them
you.
this time. So
Okay, let's.
well, you
I'll
sent me
just
a bunch of.
I'll do funny weather memes, and then I'll turn it over to you, and then you turn it back to me.
Sounds good.
Changes it up a little bit. All right. So what'd you get for Christmas, Maz?
no, I toothed front teeth. Look at those things.
Those are
Beautiful.
very
I
nice.
know. What the heck? I'm getting older. I'm getting a split in between them. What is that about?
Really, David Letterman?
Yeah, I'm like, thank you. I'll take the millions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What did I get?
It was that memorable.
I got stuff. I'm trying to concentrate here, man. One at a time. Let's see. It looks
What are you trying to pull up? You don't already have pulled up.
just
script?
looking for the. Yeah, there it is.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. Beauteous. And we're back.
Wait, that's
Save.
it there.
Good. Okay. Cool.
You're good. All right.
And I found a beer today.
That's a good sign too.
It is a good sign.
MJ, what'd you get for Christmas?
An ice auger.
Ooh,
That was the big
Ooh.
thing. Yeah.
gas powered. Yes,
I looked at
okay.
a propane one, but the gas one
I didn't
there was
even know
a
they
good.
made propane ones.
They do, which is kind of cool. But the propane ones are pretty expensive. So, and for the 3 times a year I use it, that's probably unnecessary
It
expense.
hasn't been cold enough, has it?
It was, and then it wasn't, and now it sort of is again. But
You
I
be
don't
on
know
the
what
ice now.
people were on the ice
Okay.
a lot here.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
see, we had a really cold November, super cold November, and so by the end of November, people were on the ice already.
Wow. How
And
thick
then
is
it
it
got
now?
then it got warmer, and now it's a little questionable. So
Okay. Well, there's
Joe.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey guys, how's it going?
now you
Good.
can
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Sorry for the delay there.
Had to put the kids to bed. Or
They're
the kid?
upstairs. Yeah, they are in good hands.
Did you get your mother-in-law over, or what'd you do?
Oh yeah, she's here.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
The kids aren't stealing bandwidth, are they?
Hell no. I got 350 megabit download. I got.
Oh
plenty
yeah,
of
you're
data.
good.
All right.
You're good. I'm not sure your microphone is
He's-
probably not being used. He's probably getting that
Oh,
ready.
hang
Yeah.
on, hang on.
Yep.
How about
So how was work this morning?
That was.
that? Should be a lot better, right?
You bet. That's it.
All right, hang on. Let me just double check. Okay, that should be good.
Now you're gonna have to pot them up a little bit. Sounds
So how was work? Yeah, if you can move the mic any closer to you, is that an option?
Yeah,
or?
I can sit closer. Is that better?
Okay, yeah, that works too. So how was work this morning?
No work today.
Oh, I thought you did this
Tomorrow
morning.
morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay,
Yeah, no, I just had a lot of errands and we had family stuff to do today.
got it. Okay,
Yeah, how about you?
good. It was. I didn't go to work today either. That was good. I got to go tomorrow, but I'm all right today.
A bunch of slackers.
I know.
Oh, sheesh.
We had it easy. Okay, so Joe. So who we've got on tonight is Mark Massaro. We call him Maz.
How you doing, eh?
How's it going?
Good.
And so Maz is a former TV meteorologist. Most of his time in the Cincinnati market.
Okay.
And then Mark Johnson, we call him MJ. He's up in Minnesota,
That'd be me.
How's it going, Mark?
and he's
Good, how
a Skywarn net control operator with their county ham radio group and
Nice. Skywarn.
storm
Alright.
spotter and everything. Yeah.
Is that where's my wallet? Skywarn.
Do you have your ID card?
Hang on a second.
Nice.
I'm curious now. Hang on. This is
Um,
my old school here.
Phil, it's still hot when you
Hot?
talk loudly, when you know,
Got it.
All right, let's see.
but I don't want it to get too quiet, but I'll see what I can do.
Right.
I know I have it. I'm just curious. I have been a Skywarn spotter for many years.
Yep.
prior
Nice.
to, I think. Yeah, look at that.
He's got it.
He's a card carrying member.
There it is.
Look at that. There it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah.
Hiding the spotter ID just in case.
Here's my yeah. Whoops. No, it doesn't.
There
Issued
you go.
August 27th, 2010.
Nice.
Look at that.
Good for you. All right. Hey, quick test of the sound effects here.
Oh yeah. I got it.
How's that
Yep.
sound wise? Okay.
It's coming
All
through
right.
good.
That's good. All right. So that being said, we'll get cranking here. Biggest thing is if you get disconnected for any reason, Joe, just use the link to jump back on.
Sure.
You'll be good. So I'll start. We'll do the general opening, and then we'll go around, introduce what are you drinking, and then I'll turn it over to Maz. We'll do Joe's official introduction. We'll get into some questions, and then about 15 minutes into it or so, I'll take a quick break. Then we'll come back, finish some questions, and then do your lightning round.
Okay. I have the dryer running right behind here. Do you hear a dull hum noise?
I
I don't hear
don't.
anything.
No.
No.
Okay.
But if I could bring some laundry over, that'd be awesome, buddy. Just,
No problem.
I think a dull hum is probably the least of our problems on this show. But
True. That's true.
Oh, jeez.
That's fair. All right, Joe, you got any questions
No.
before we start? Okay.
Do it.
All right, we'll do this. Coming in 3, 2. Well, hey, everybody, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. If you are a first-time listener, thanks for joining us. Be sure to go to stormfrontfreaks.com to access our library of previous shows and exciting guests from the weather industry, like ABC's Ginger Z or the Weather Channel's Jen Carfagno. But tonight, we are recording episode 69. As a late Christmas gift, we've got meteorologist and two-time Last Ninja Standing on NBC's American Ninja Warrior, Joe Moravsky is with us. All right, we're going to have to edit that. Sorry, I put the wrong button. Welcome, Joe.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, great. Okay, we'll
it's
try.
because you called him a two-timer. That's why.
All right, we're off to a good start. Here we go. In 3, 2. Hey, everybody, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. If you're a first-time listener, do us a favor. First off, thanks for joining us. But go to stormfrontfreaks.com. You can access our library of previous shows and exciting guests from the weather industry. We've had guests like ABC's Ginger Z, the Weather Channel's Jen Carfagno. We're a couple of them here just in this past year. But tonight, we're recording episode 69. And as a late Christmas gift, we have got meteorologist and two-time Last Ninja Standing on NBC's American Ninja Warrior. It's Joe Moravsky is with us tonight, Joe. So thanks for joining us.
all right.
And as always, we'll be having some fun with Joe in our lightning round, as well as sharing some WX resources and funny weather memes. But before we get to all of that, a couple things. First, thanks to everybody who participated in our 5 weeks of Christmas giveaways. We gave away, listen to this, we gave away 11 weather-related products totaling over $1,000 in retail value. And we reviewed all these in episode 66 of our holiday weather shopping extravaganza. But I want to say a special thanks to our partners, AccuRite, Kestrel, Weatherman Umbrellas, GPX, AlertWorks, Echo Charlie 1, Midland, and Sangian. We're all partners there and helped us out. So I want to thank that group of folks. But hey, let's go ahead and introduce the team. It's always happy hour when we record. It's a great way to introduce the voices of our co-hosts, as well as kind of let you know this is always a fun, laid-back show. We invite you to pony up to the bar and have a drink with us as well. But MJ, up in Minnesota, you're getting some weather up there tonight, but what are you drinking?
Well, the holidays took a bit of a toll on me, so tonight I'm drinking some light lemonade, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
And I hear there's another one coming around in a couple of days. So
Good. All right, light lemonade. We're off to a good start. All right, Maz, what are you drinking?
Well, I broke open the Colonel Taylor last night, which was awesome, by the way. So tonight we're going lighter. Absolutely. Mick Ultra tonight.
There you
go. Following in MJ's
Did you
footsteps.
finish? You finished the Colonel Taylor?
Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no.
Okay, just
On the
double checking.
rocks, 100 proof. It's awesome, by the way.
Interesting. All right. Well, Maz, since we're on you, I'm going to leave it to you to actually go ahead and give our guest a nice introduction.
All right. Joe, very cool that he's on here for tonight. Famous for competing in the finals of season 5 through 10 of NBC's American Ninja Warrior and being the last standing twice. The obstacle course expert is also notable for his work as a weather forecaster. Joe studied meteorology at Western Connecticut State University. Welcome, Joe. Awesome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So what's taking most of your time right now? Is it meteorology? Is it training? Is it what's happening?
It's really split between everything at this point. I have 2 kids here at home, a wife, of course, and between that and training, preparing for next season, it takes a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice as well. And obviously, to answer maybe the most important question, what's going on with the weather? People ask me that all the time because, from Connecticut, a lot of people watch Connecticut news. Obviously, it's a pretty good market. And, they're like, where are you? We don't see you on air. And well, the thing is, I'm a freelance, so I fill in. I've always had that employment status, I guess we'll call it. And I don't want to go full time because I'm 29 years old, turning 30 in a few short months, and there's no going back from that. So I don't want to really use this time to focus on weather. I know I can go back to it at 45 if I really want to, but this show has opened so many doors for me that I'm just keeping my foot in the door with the meteorology because obviously there's two big reasons. One, I love it. I don't want to ever get away from it because it was my first passion, really, which is kind of funny. Who would say that? Looking back, I'm like, wow, really? I was such a nerd. Nothing wrong with that, but and it's just something I never really want to let go because of that. And so I'm not doing it for really any other reason, just the fact that I love it so much. And the same thing goes with Ninja Warrior. I've been doing it for 6 seasons and I love it so much. I don't want to let it go. And even though my feelings about the show have changed year to year, and what I mean by that is, first year I really came out to try to be the first American Ninja Warrior. And once that happened, your reasons change. And I like to say this a lot, your why has to be worth it, if you're going to be successful out there. But, we'll get into this, I'm sure in a little bit. But that's kind of where I'm at.
So did you say, Joe, it's split 50-50 or as far as your time?
I would say, maybe 45% family, 45% ninja, 10% weather.
Okay. So how often are you on the air a month, I guess, or is it seasonal?
It's seasonal. It really is. The winter time, the winter months, definitely more. But I can tell you right now, last time I've been on air here in Connecticut is probably April. Just because my season, Ninja Warrior season, goes from April to March, really, through the summer. And I was traveling this summer. I was probably in, I think I was in 8 states in like 2 months. I was all over the place. And I'm talking like going away for a week at a time. And it was really tough. I had a lot of issues emotionally being away from home, being away from the family that much, especially during this, during the school year. My wife's a teacher here in Connecticut, especially with her being a school teacher and me being a stay-at-home dad when I'm not doing any of that and any of the weather, any of the ninja stuff. It's hard to go away when you're that guy or that person that stays home with the kids. So it's been tough. A lot of, talking with people I trust to, gauge how they handle things that are similar to what I'm going through and, talking to the right people. And, it's definitely been a roller coaster, but very thankful for all the ups and downs because it's made me stronger.
So you mentioned before you're getting ready to turn 30, which, that's really old, but not for weather. But what about in the Ninja Warrior side? Is there I mean, you've been on now five seasons, 6 seasons?
6
Do you
seasons, yeah.
do you feel it every year? Like, do you feel yourself getting stronger? Do you feel yourself going, "Ooh, man, there's a pain I never had before," or is there a healing time, or what?
Thankfully, I'm still in that time of my life where the healing is still, up to par, up to speed. I think what's changed most for me is my motivation, because to go out every season and to get nothing from it, because a lot of people don't know. And sure, I say nothing because, I'm talking purely a salary or something like that. There is no pay.
You got a nice jacket. I mean, I see your jacket. You must have gotten that out of the deal, right?
There are some perks, but honestly, the things I get like this and some of the other things, and obviously exposure, those are not direct, pay to help with the mortgage or things like that. Those things have to come on the side, and it is a career. It's kind of crazy now looking back to see the progression over the years. We have gone from What's American Ninja Warrior to, oh, I love that show. I see it all the time. I'm a huge fan. It's pretty crazy to see that and to be a part of that transition from what is that to, oh my gosh, I love that show. And to be one of the figures that have helped change it. I would feel like a lot of people have told me Casey Catanzaro, she was one of the first women. Actually, she was the first woman to ever beat the city qualifying course in her region. And then she goes on the next night, because we film back-to-back nights. It airs on TV weeks later, but it's back-to-back nights. And then that next night, she went out there and got to like the second to last obstacle in the city finals. And to put that into perspective, no woman had ever beaten the qualifying course. She had beat the qualifying course plus the extended version of the course the next night in one go, in 2 nights. So, her really breaking through helped propel the show. And that same year, it was the year I broke an obstacle, which it's so crazy looking back. I was on this obstacle. It's called the Rumbling Dice. It's this big square box, and you roll the box down a track. So it's a lot of upper body, and you have to, this is why I love weather so much. There's so much physics and math, to kind of figure out angles and how much momentum and all these other things. And I'm hanging from this box, and the rule was, this is a very important rule, you're only allowed to turn the box. You can't slide it down the track. That's cheating. We want you to use your upper body. So I thought, how can I twist these words a little bit? I'm very literal. So if you don't want me to do the sliding, I have to turn it. Well, what if I get a big swing and that swing kind of lifts me up? And once I get my body up, I can pull down a lot easier, because I'm not hanging there. If you visualize, it's kind of tricky, but think of a box, a square, and each of these corners is a bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I had to do is reach up and turn the box, and that would move me down the track. And so what I decided to do was I decided to swing a lot, and that swing, as I turned it, would actually slide it, and that was okay. I had a little too much power. I'm the weatherman. Got some.
I get that all the time too.
bottled up
Yeah, I'm with you.
lightning or something.
I'm
Yeah,
with you,
of course,
man.
you guys know all about it. So.
You were grounded a lot when you were younger, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. That was for other reasons, I think. But either way, I had a lot of energy, as you can tell. So what ended up happening was I actually pulled this obstacle off of the track, even though the track had like these 2-inch metal barriers that this box was rolling behind. I somehow got my swing crooked. So as I rolled it, I rolled over the track. Thank God there were safety cables on the thing, because it weighed about 100 pounds. If that had fallen on my head, I'm getting excited. I'm smacking the microphone. If that had fallen on my head, it would have been very bad. But thankfully, ATS, the guys that designed the course and build it, very smart people, they were prepared for something like that. So it broke. That went viral. I had weather, junkies and meteorologists reaching out from across the country, just saying, "Oh my gosh, have you seen this weatherman?" And it was really cool. I actually got to talk with Al Roker. I got to be on the Today Show, and we had a little segment on Wake Up with Al. So it was fun. I tried to get him involved. He didn't really want to get involved. I understand. He's got a good career. There's no reason to stray from that at this point. But it's just been a crazy ride. So that year, season 6, was really the year that changed everything. And to be a part of that, it's pretty cool.
It might be fun to see Roker on the course once, just to.
It would be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that would be.
He has come a long way. He used
Yeah.
to be he used to be pretty overweight. Now he looks great. So
Yeah.
I think he has a daughter, and I'm sure her growing up kind of motivates him to get into shape too, because I see it in my kids all the time. I want to be, the best I can be for them. And I'm sure he feels the same way. So yeah, it's cool stuff.
Well, good. Well, we're quick on that note. We're going to take a quick break. Go ahead and we want everybody to get a chance. Refill your drink. When we come back, we'll be back with Joe. We'll talk a little bit more about how you find a way to make an income when they don't pay you and you're freelancing, right? We'll be right back. All right.
Hey, can we get more volume out of Joe? A couple of our
Joe, any way we can get more volume from you?
Do you have a volume adjustment on that microphone?
I might be able to. Sure. Let me see here.
Some of our viewers said you're quieter than the rest of us.
Joe, are you used to having people ask you for more all the time? Could we get some more from
Can
you?
we get some more?
Joe?
What could we,
All the time. All right, hang on one sec. All right, I was at 80%. I brought it up to 100%. How does that sound?
I think that sounds a little bit better. Just make sure you lean
Testing.
into the.
Yeah, I can stay closer.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's good.
I know I come away every so often, but I'll try.
I know
to
because
stay.
same thing. Yeah.
He gets excited. He's like, "Oh my god!"
I know. I'm trying to use the hands.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll come back here in 3, 2. All right, so we're back here with Joe Moravsky, and we were talking a little bit, Joe, about money and income, and we're asking you where do you spend most of your time? Is it weather? Is it Ninja Warrior work? And you said it was really, what'd you say, 45 family, 45 Ninja Warrior, 10 weather as of right now.
Yeah.
But so here's my question, because my understanding is NBC doesn't allow, and I would assume the USA Network too, because you've done some shows there too, but they don't allow sponsorship. And my understanding is there's no prize money unless you complete stage 4 in the finals. Is that right?
So that has been essentially the rules over the years. This past season was the first season that had changed, actually. So
what part changed?
So to win the $1 million, you have to beat the entire course. No falling.
Okay.
Now, if you fall in the city finals, but you make it to Vegas, that's okay. But I'm talking if you fall in Vegas, you're out. To win the million, you cannot fall. You cannot lose in Vegas. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? In Vegas, how you're not going to lose. So, but either way, this year was the first year they decided to give a consolation prize of $100,000 to the last ninja standing. So, which really upset me about that. Because
you did it previous to that, right?
I've done it twice previously, and I've gotten nothing from it. So I get it. I'm very happy it's there. I'm not complaining. It's just, oh man, it would have been nice. It's 4
I'm
years
sure they
ago.
gave you a shirt. I mean, didn't you get a shirt that says "I was the last ninja standing"?
Wow. They should. That'd be nice, right? No.
So then here's my question. So you kind of you pointed out the fact that unless you win everything, right, you're out of the money. So why do you keep doing it? How can you keep doing it?
Well, yeah, if you look at just, the money, of course, you can't really sustain a family, a house, cars and all that stuff just on the show. There are some prizes, if you go top 3 or top 5, I think it is actually, in the city rounds, you can actually win a few $1,000 here and there. It's not, tens of thousands, but it can be if you do really well. And what I mean by that is they also added something new this year. It was called the Mega Wall. It was an 18-foot warped wall. So the wall, it's not straight up. It's curved. It has this gradual incline. It goes completely vertical, and then it cuts back just a little bit. Not too dangerously, so you're really risking injury. But excuse me. So they added that if you get to the top of that only one try, you get $10,000. So I think the most amount of money you can make from a city qualifying and finals course, a regional course, is like $18,000, which is great. But that's if everything goes right. You get first place both nights, and you get the Mega Wall. I ended up getting only a few thousand this year from the show. I think it was like $7,000, which is good. You get it.
That's all right.
You get a check in the mail, and you're like, all right, that's
for how long are you out there? How long are you out there for?
4 days. So $7,000 in 4 days. But it's not about me. Like I love being able to make money on the show, of course, but there are so many ninjas out there that deserve money
Right.
for all the time that they put into this. And I feel bad for people like that, where I come in and kind of take that from them. I've always said it should be not about how fast you go or what place you get in. There could be incentives, of course, for that. Let's say you get top 3, you maybe make an extra few $1,000, but I think it should be, if this is a game show like they want it to be, right? Because they pay like a game show. It's not a reality show. We're not getting paid reality star money, Jersey Shore or something ridiculous, or, crazy amounts of money. We're getting game show amounts of money here. So why don't we make it a game show? Let's say if you beat a city qualifying round, if you just beat it, you get $4,000. I don't know, because we're trying to make this for, you make a living for everyone that is serious about it. The people that come out for the first time, they mess up, they don't deserve it as much as somebody like a Ryan Stratus or Brent Stephenson or any of these guys that have been doing this a very long time. David Campbell, the Godfather, they call him, because he's been doing it since season 1. Those are the people that don't really get top 3 anymore. Some do. But the point is, they have dedicated their life to this. They should be able to make a living, or at least some money. They don't need to be top 5 to do that. There should be some sort of tiered payout. You beat city qualifiers, you get a few thousand. You beat the finals, which, to put it in perspective, maybe 3 people ever beat the city finals course. So that should be a good amount of money. If you beat a city finals course, maybe $10,000. And that's, I think.
Do you see this coming? Do you see that coming? Is that coming down the pipe or not? What do you think?
So we just have to remember as ninjas, as the talent, I guess, Matt Nockbar and Christine Leahy, they're the main talent of the show, but I guess they would be considered the talent. We would be considered the stars of the show. But either way, I want it to change. I just feel like, and not even for me, because I'm making a living off of it. I want it to be for everybody else that doesn't have the opportunity that I do. I've been very fortunate, lucky, blessed, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just trying to make the people that are struggling, out there to make ends meet, they run their own gym, or they're trying to open a gym because they love this so much. There should be some sort of payout for them. So that's kind of what I've been hoping for. And I think it's coming. I do. I just think we need to work together to, let the show know that that's what we want.
Are you allowed to have your own gym or train other people on how to do this?
Yeah. I think the only real restrictions there are the word usage. I can't use Ninja Warrior Training Grounds as the gym title,
Okay.
Something like that. Now, I think technically I can't even call the obstacles by their name, because I'm pretty sure those are trademarked from Japan, because this show originally aired, not the American Ninja Warrior version, but
in
the show
Japan,
Ninja
right? Yeah.
Warrior was a Japanese show, by Tokyo Broadcasting Systems, or TBS, whatever that is. And so they own everything. NBC licenses that, and so.
But you have a gym. You have a gym, right?
I actually don't. I don't.
Oh,
have
you
a gym.
don't.
No,
But do you
I am
train?
at
But you
many different
train.
gyms. Oh, I'm at so many different gyms. I'm going to be
Right.
San Antonio in 2 weeks. I'm going to be in Cleveland the week after that. I'm going to be in Long Island.
So you getting appearance fees for that?
I am. Yeah, I have an
Okay.
agent right now.
That's what it is.
And it's been great. Yeah, my agent and I, Kevin, we hooked up this past spring, and we kind of tested the waters at first, because I had an agent before him through IMG, which is a pretty big agency. But I noticed that the bigger agencies, and I've heard this tossed around, and I believed it, but I didn't want to believe it because it just sounds cooler to have the big guys represent you. But people always told me, you know what? You don't really want to go with the big guys unless you're a Tiger Woods or, Michael Jordan or somebody, because they care about you. And I'm not saying IMG didn't care about me, but I was definitely a small fish in a very big pond. So
You need Jerry Maguire. I'm just saying.
yeah, I know, right? So I'm working with Kevin out of Ninja Coalition now, and he actually started the business for us, for the ninjas. So myself and a few others work with him, and it's been great. We were just down in California doing some fire relief for the Redding fire, which was in Northern California, and also the Paradise fires. We were just kind of trying to give back a little bit. So we had a course built, and we were inviting all the victims or the families of victims and everything. And victims, the people that lost their property and houses and cars, we let them come for free and just play and get to meet us. And some were big fans of the show, and some just wanted to come and play.
Cool. Have you ever had the urge to throw on a nice black ninja outfit and hood and do the weather?
I've had so many ideas.
Looking like
man.
a ninja.
I don't even know if I want to give away all the ideas I have. Because I
Oh,
don't
there's
wanna
got to be
have
some.
someone
Well, who
do
else is going
before
to
I
use
do.
them? Who
Hey,
else
you
is
never
going?
know. There might be an up and coming weatherman just graduating. He's like, oh, I'm going to do that. And
I'm
then
going to be a
that
ninja
becomes-
warrior.
It becomes his move.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you one.
Okay.
I've always wanted to backflip live on TV, and giving the weather, not just talking like
Into the chroma green.
right the chroma key. I don't know how I would incorporate it. That's the problem. You know, I wanted to develop a system. You know, something because the weather is weather. You know, if you're not a nerd like myself, you just want to know what the 7 days looking like, and then that's it. You know what I mean? For the weather weenies that are out there, they care more about, you know, the why. So I figured, why not make it a little more entertaining? Maybe on a severe weather day. Although I can see how this wouldn't work because of, oh, well, he's not taking his job seriously.
Yeah,
so that's why
really.
I did it. But I thought about, what if I can incorporate something like, it's going to be a one flip day where, what's one flip mean? And so I generate some sort of key.
Oh.
It never came to fruition because I realized really quickly, like I just said, I don't want people thinking I'm a joke out there.
Right.
You know, I'm serious. I'm a scientist coming out giving the weather story to people. So that was the only issue. I'll figure it out.
Do it on
Have you-
daylight savings time. You spring forward.
Yeah, right. Daylight saving time.
Listen, I'm drinking. Everything has an S. Listen, Joe's.
It's the only thing that bothers me because I found out so incredibly late, not as late as you, unless you just forgot. I'm sure we're just going to say that. But either way, I found out like 3 years ago that I've been saying it wrong all these years. Daylight saving time. And it just bothers me so much. So I just try to correct people.
That's
Sorry,
okay. I had
it's so
English
stupid.
teachers
I'm sorry.
calling all the time. It's short-lived, not short-lived. And I was like,
Wait, what?
fine. They're like,
Really?
that weather event is short-lived. And I was like, okay, you can't say short-lived. Fine. You know, so
I hope you're
those
kidding because this is something I did not know.
well, I don't know. The teacher's retired, so maybe that's why they're retired.
According
I
to
don't know.
Miss Thompson, eighth
I'm gonna,
grade
have,
I know.
I'm
English
gonna have
teacher.
to look that up now
Yeah.
because I'm very picky over the last few years, especially about how I try to say things. I think just
Yeah.
because being on air, you do become more conscious of the things you are saying. So my wife, it's funny, I'll tease her all the time. She'll say, I don't know if it's a Northeast thing, because I just asked some people out in California when I was out there, excuse me, if they say this or if they heard this and they've never even heard it before. If you say, look at this or look at it here in the Northeast, for whatever reason, we'll shorten it and say, look it. Like, look it, come over here.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy.
Use all people do that all the time.
Yeah.
Use
all.
always.
Use all.
Use.
That's
Always. Oh, that's the one that
wicked
gets
bad,
me.
man.
All right, so you're talking a little bit. I want to know this: have you had any crossover benefit, Joe, from the success now you've had with Ninja Warrior, and any and any weather opportunities?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
has there been a crossover benefit?
Definitely.
And what is it? What is it?
One of them, let's see if I can probably figure this out here. Let me show you something here.
Oh, we got a physical
Uh-oh.
prop.
We're moving.
I'm gonna break something. All right, here.
Earthquake.
See if you can see that. Can't keep a good ninja down,
Oh, nice.
and that's that's me flipping in the middle of a commercial. And
Is that the Weather Channel app?
Weather Channel
Yeah,
app
yep.
commercial. Yep.
I saw that.
I don't know if this is flipped around on your screen, but
No, we see it.
it says after a stint on TV's American Ninja Warrior, weatherman lands his feet in a Weather Channel commercial. So that was a few years ago.
So how'd that come about? How'd they reach out to you?
They did. They reached out to me. I had my email up on my weird website at the time. I don't even know what my website was, and they reached out. I wasn't sure if it was legit. I didn't have an agent representing me. So they made out with a good deal. We'll say that. So I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first real gig, and I didn't want to scare them away with numbers, nor did I want to get involved with numbers. Who does, really? I guess you have to have a knack for that thing. But it was great. And so that was my first big break, I guess we could say. That video's got like 1.4 million views right now on YouTube, which is, it's a lot. Definitely. It's one of the most views I've had on a video. But
It's cool.
It's been up many years. Yeah, it's fun.
I
is
saw
cool.
it. I saw it, and I will tell you, I did not know you were like parkour expert, man. That's some serious stuff.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. So that was one of them. And then obviously, I don't even know if I said this, but when I was out in Reading There's a town just north of Sacramento, about an hour, called Chico, which is right next to Paradise, the city that burned from these fires. And Chico, I was out there on the NBC affiliate, and I did the weather, as well as an interview with their, with their talent, the anchors there. That was fun.
They pay you for that?
No, they didn't pay me for that.
Okay.
But, I didn't even ask for it. I'm out
It was
there.
publicity.
Yeah. Not only that, but I'm out there for these people, trying to, bring some joy and distraction.
So,
I guess.
so being a freelance, so you're not tied down to any particular station.
I am not.
Have you because of the publicity, have you gotten any other requests for doing some work?
Yeah,
elsewhere?
I've had a few offers at Fox, and there was a local station here. They have a good amount of views though, because they're not like the station I'm at now, where it's very isolated to. My station I'm at right now is a cable station.
Okay.
So they kind of fill in, because the market here in Connecticut is very strange. The Fairfield County, which is the southwesternmost county, it's right next to New York City. So New York City technically has that part of their DMA. So Connecticut markets don't generally pay as much attention to Fairfield County. So that's where News 12 came along. So we have tens of thousands of viewers, but it's not like NBC or Fox or any WTNH, which is the other one that was kind of interested in me. But I told them straight up, I would love to, but I'm 29 years old. And my goals right now are to not be a full-time weatherman. I'm not going to be as successful on American Ninja Warrior, guaranteed. It would be like having a whole nother child, because that's how much time would be involved in that job. You guys know. So
You just got to find the right spot. I remember Fox Philly offered me a 2-day gig for pretty decent money, but it wasn't enough to sustain a family for me. But they're like, hey, you could spend the other 5 days doing whatever you want. And I'm like, oh man, I got a wife and child.
And
yeah, it was very tempting.
Had they had
expensive
Ninja
city.
Warrior back then, you probably would have done that for the other 5.
Oh
right?
yeah, he would have.
You would have. No,
Are you-
I'm being serious, because
Are you seeing this body? Are you seeing it?
no, well, this would have been back then, right? Well, hey,
I'm
so
still
that's a
saying.
good point, and that's maybe what I want to finish on, Joe, with you. Is let's talk 5 years from now. What are you thinking? I mean, which is hard, because I would guess 10 years ago you wouldn't have been thinking, well, Ninja Warrior, and so I'm sure that's hard. But what do you think? 5 years from now, what are you thinking? Where you're at?
Well, I do have something in the works right now that I have not released publicly. But
Well, hey, no better
Drum
place
roll,
than
please.
Stormfront Freaks podcast, right?
right. I can't say too much about it, but let's just say there's a TV show hosting opportunity for me, and so
Okay.
we're gonna see where that goes. We myself and the team have really good connections to some pretty amazing people that work on TV that you would know if I said their name, so I can't say.
Your wife will kill you if it's The Bachelor. I'm just saying.
Oh, actually, what's funny about that? No, it's not. The
Oh
Bachelor.
no!
Really?
No, the first Bachelor that came out, man, I can't believe I'm blanking on her name right now. I can see her face. I wonder. I was gonna look at my phone, but I'll figure it out later. Either way, she's a big fan of the show, and her husband, who was the Bachelorette, actually, he was the guy that married the Bachelorette. He actually was on the show this year in Minneapolis, where I was taping, and I met her. She's a good friend of Megan Martin's. I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. It's going to drive me crazy. Hang on. Let's see if I can type in contacts. I'm going to do Bachelor.
It's just in
Yeah,
contact.
I'm so glad I save little comments next to people's names in here. Trista Sutter.
Okay.
She was the first Bachelorette. So she's a big fan of Ninja Warrior. And I had no idea. So super cool family. I have 2 kids, but either way, that's the only Bachelor connection I have. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm not
So-
getting involved. Sorry, I'm already taken.
No, that's all right.
Sorry,
So
ladies.
okay.
And sorry,
So
gentlemen.
let's
Apparently,
fast
that's
forward. Let's fast forward 10 years from now. 10 years. You're starting to show a little gray. You're like Maz. You're not recovering as quickly as you'd like to.
What the heck?
You're just getting picked on today.
I know.
I'm just saying. Yeah, Brady's not here. That's why. So 10
Exactly.
years. Where are you thinking 10 years?
Oh man, it really depends on how these next few years go. I wish I can say. I could tell you plans that I have. One of them obviously being hosting a host of a show. That'd be great. Winning the $1 million prize on American Ninja Warrior, if I do it this year, that could change a lot of things too. I would love to invest. I would love to. I would love if all all else fails, I don't want to make it look like a backup. I'm talking if all else fails, meteorology included, I would love to be a teacher. I always wanted to go back to high school and be a sport, coach, basketball, baseball, especially.
Bravo.
My high school had asked me for soccer, baseball, and basketball to come back and coach for them. And I would have loved to, but at the time it just wasn't going to work. And now, especially, it's just too hard with my travel schedule. I would have to commit many months to that. And, it's just not worth it at this point in time, but I would love to. So that's like an ultimate fallback plan, go back to school and get my degree or get what I need to teaching certification wise to be in that field.
Could you
and
teach?
It would be cool.
Win that $1 million and you might be able to afford to do it.
That would be, yeah, do what you love, right? You have
Then
to.
you could be a teacher, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, let's do this. How can Joe? How can our listeners follow you or find you and track you, whether it's now or even 5 years from now?
The easiest thing to do is just type in Joe American Ninja Warrior in Google or in any social, any search bar. That's the easiest way to do it because my last name gets a little tricky, but you could go to joemoravsky.com, MORAV as in Victor, SKY.com. And all my social media links are they're linked in there. That's the easiest way to do it.
Or 2019 Bachelorette, right?
Yep. or season 11 winner of American Ninja Warrior. That works too.
That'll work too. Well, good.
It's coming.
Okay, well, hey, that's the sound. It is time for our lightning round. And, Joe, this is our game show of flashy questions for our guest. And we always invite all of our listeners to go ahead and play along with us. But here's what we're going to do. In honor of episode 69, we're gonna play a game.
Oh, Lord.
No.
We're going to play a game, and it's called Toy or Obstacle. Toy or Obstacle. And so what this is, Joe, I'm gonna go down and give you some names, and you got to tell me if this is either a Ninja Warrior obstacle or if it's an adult toy. Okay. Now, if you'd go back a few episodes, we had Rick Reichmuth on the show from Fox News, and we played. What did we play? Burger positions, and it was either a famous name of a famous hamburger somewhere in the United States, or it was a position from the Kama Sutra.
Joe, it's not normally like this.
I was gonna say I have a lot of kids following this, following my social media. I don't know if I can post this.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it, right?
That's
so it's either it's toy or obstacle. It's all you need to say is toy or obstacle. Okay.
Probably
all
my
right.
last
So
show.
so we're gonna start with the first one. This is either an obstacle or it's a toy. It's called the spin cycle.
Now, should I answer first, or should we have these guys answer?
No, you have to answer. This is all about you.
all
You're
you.
the player. Now
This
I
is
will
all about
do
you.
this if you need to phone a friend. I certainly let you pick the freaks. They can help you out. I don't think they're going to help you out much,
I
though.
don't
To be
think
honest
so
with you.
either.
So-
if I fail this, then there's a problem. But spin cycle, definitely an obstacle. I know exactly.
That is correct. That is an obstacle. Let's try another one. We're gonna call this one the double twister. Is that a toy or an obstacle?
My gosh. Wow. Thinking about it as a toy makes it really funny. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it is a toy.
Now, here's the truth. It might be a toy, but it is a Ninja Warrior obstacle, the double twister.
From which season? I'm curious because I don't know if I've heard.
I'd have to pull it up. I pulled this from all the seasons, and they listed this. This could be either one of the regionals or finals.
I'm gonna come back to you on that.
That's
one.
all right. You can do that. You can call it. You can call it if you want. All right. The next one. It's called the Little Rooster.
Oh,
Is
God.
that a toy or an obstacle?
I'm going on. I'm going unknown.
Yeah, we're gonna say toy on that one.
That is correct. That is a
Double
toy.
twister. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. It was actually an obstacle I did this season, but I didn't know the name.
And
of it.
you didn't even remember it.
Oh,
Oh my
my
God. All right.
It
All
was
right.
so
Okay.
Maz
Yeah,
is
I
hiding.
just let it go. That
Here's-
was the problem.
Here's the next one. We're gonna call it the pipe fitter. Is that a toy or an obstacle? The pipe
man.
fitter.
Please
That
stop.
one is actually an obstacle.
That is correct. It is an obstacle.
You thought you were gonna get me on that.
All right, here we go. Next one. We're calling it California Dreaming. California Dreaming. Toy or an obstacle?
That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
I don't think they've ever named an obstacle after a region, so I'm gonna have to say toy.
That's correct.
Oh, there
California
you go.
Dreaming is a toy.
I don't think I ever want to look that up either. So I'm just.
All right, here we go. The rabbit. The rabbit. Is that a toy or an obstacle?
Oh my gosh, that's a toy. That's a toy.
That is a toy. All right, we got the battering ram. Is that a toy or an obstacle?
That is so incredibly awesome.
Joe, I'm so
Because-
sorry.
Because it's an obstacle. That's
It
why
is an obstacle.
Oh,
Believe it or not, the battering ram
these
is
guys
an
are
obstacle.
probably- Oh, it's so good.
Okay, here we go. The crescendo. The crescendo. Toy or obstacle?
That sounds dirty. I'm gonna go toy.
That is a toy.
How many
Very
more?
good. Here we go. The pole grasper. The pole grasper.
You know, the more we get into this game, the more I realize how they should probably change the names of these obstacles.
So,
because
yes.
that is
wait.
an obstacle.
That is an obstacle. The
Is
pole
this why
grasper.
the ladies are not on the show tonight?
I don't know.
Oh,
It just
my
kind of
goodness.
works out that way.
Oh,
All right, we got a couple more here. We're gonna call it the snake crossing. Snake crossing.
This is good. I love this. It's an obstacle. I did
That is an
3
obstacle.
years ago.
All right, the fin. The fin. Toy or obstacle?
I can't even judge by the names anymore because they all sound bad. It's an obstacle. No. It's a toy. It's a toy.
That is correct. You got it right there at the end. It is a toy.
I almost did.
Let's. If we've got two more, we'll finish up with two more. Paddle boards. Paddle boards. Toy or obstacle?
I'm just making sure that it's not a variation of that. I'm pretty sure it's an obstacle.
It is an obstacle. It might be a toy too, for all we know. That could be possible. All right, the last one, Maz. This is for you.
oh,
Oh, boy.
no.
The emoji baiter. The emoji baiter. Toy or obstacle?
Toy.
That is a toy. Yes. Yeah, that, truthfully, that sounds nothing like an obstacle.
No, not at all.
But when I read it, I thought it was so funny that we had to share that. So, all right, Joe, great job. Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, that was fun.
You rocked that one. I think you only had one wrong on that whole thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it should have been 4 of us.
That was very good. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take our final break. Stay
Oh,
right
thank
here.
God.
Yeah, we are. So we're going to share some great WX resources, and we have some funny weather memes you can use when we come back. So see you soon. All right, Joe, well done.
Certainly
Yeah,
gives you a whole different perspective on the name of those obstacles. Than,
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do them now. I'm going to be on the course thinking about the name instead of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Sorry
Really
to
quick,
do that
How
to you.
much? No, it was funny. How much longer is the show?
I would say 10, since there's only 3 of us right now, I would say maybe 10 to 15 at the most more minutes.
All right. So if I wanted to jump out, now is the only time, really.
You
right?
could jump. Yeah, I mean, you could always just cut out. It doesn't really matter.
Can
We're
I
still
jump
at
out? Can I jump out?
How about? Can we do this?
If you got to go,
Let's
go.
start this-
It's okay.
yeah, let's
It's
start
okay.
this next. Can I start this next one with you and just be like, all right, guys, thanks for having me. I'll see you soon or something.
You
Or do
you
want
can
me to
you
cut
can
out now?
just if you want to just cut out, I would say just cut out. No need to say hey, thanks for having me, whatever. What we do no matter what is at the end we're still gonna say hey, I want to say a special thanks to Joe for joining us and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so it's probably better if I cut out now then.
Okay,
If-
that works.
I don't want to make it awkward. I'd rather sign out and say bye or
Okay.
at all.
If he's
Okay.
still open to it, see if he'll cut a little audio for you.
Yeah, if you would, can you cut a little plug for us, Joe?
Yeah.
And just say like this is Ninja Weatherman Joe Moravsky. You're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Sure. As a sign out, like as what? Just a
Well,
plug
we'll
to-
just what we do every once in a while is when we edit shows in the future, during these breaks, we might have like when Jim
something-
Cantori come on and say, "Hey, this is Jim Cantori, the Weather Channel. You're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast." Yeah, it's just a little something we throw in during future shows.
All right. Yeah, I got you. Let me know when
Okay.
you're ready.
You can go ahead.
This is Joe Moravsky from American Ninja Warrior, and you are listening to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Perfect. Good.
works perfectly. Yep.
All right, well, Joe. So here's what I'll do. I'll just send you a follow-up email. We usually edit the audio podcast and post that Sunday.
Okay.
So that'll be posted on, iTunes and Google Podcasts and all that kind of stuff. I'll just send you an email with that information. We also put it on social media, so you might see that as well.
I'll try to retweet or wherever
Okay.
you're putting it. I'll try to do something like that.
And
I
then
usually don't, but this was actually a lot of fun. I don't know if it looked like it. but
Okay. You were very energetic.
It was fun.
We loved it. And
You
then
were
the
gracious.
edited
You were very
video.
gracious.
Yes.
The edited video will have broadcast on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV, which is a streaming channel. That will be next Thursday night. So that'll be edited, and then usually after it's shown, we also throw it up on YouTube. But we take this video and edit the video as well. So I'll send you that information when it's done. Okay?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Joe, it's great having you. Thanks for
that
taking the
was
time,
fun.
That was
and
fun,
Happy
guys.
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, and
Yes, Happy New
maybe
Year.
we'll talk
Hey,
sometime in the
luck.
future.
Great luck in both careers, man.
Look
Yeah,
forward
no
to it.
kidding.
Crazy.
No
I'm
kidding.
very fortunate. So
Hey, I'll tell
thank
you
guys.
what, Joe. So, my son is a sophomore in high school,
Oh, yeah.
and he knows about this podcast, but he's not usually very impressed with guests and things. I told him you were going to be on, and he said, "Oh my God, that's cool! I got to watch this." So,
Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate that.
So we got one more. We got one more listener
One
and
more
viewer
listener,
tonight.
thank
So
you.
thank you, Joe.
Nice. Well, listen, it wasn't. I didn't promote it, so but I will when this comes, to social media. I'll definitely
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate
do
it.
what I
That's
can
great.
to See if I can be that top spot.
Thanks for
There
being
we
a
go.
good sport,
All right.
too. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, yeah, you were awesome, Joe. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Happy New Year.
All right, see ya.
Joe.
Bye.
All right.
Oh, that was painful. I can't do those.
Is that why you
anymore.
you switched your camera?
Yeah, I wanted to be the unknown anchor there. So. oh.
We had. Hey, listen, we had one of our listeners. MJ might be covering it later. Offer a suggestion for another one to do in the future, and it was like porn names or winter storm names.
Yeah.
You didn't send me that one, but
Oh, did I? Okay.
I might be conveniently sick that day. Just
Oh God, you're hilarious. You were laughing louder than anybody else was last time, my
he was
friend.
absolutely right. Though it gives you a whole new perspective on the name of those
Obstacles, doesn't it?
You. Oh my God.
There you go.
Never.
All right. You can call me lots of things, but you can't call me not creative. That's all I have to say about that. All right. So we'll come back. Maz, introduce WX Resources. I have one.
I got one.
MJ has one.
Bill and MJ, WX Resources, got it.
Posted on episode 69 show notes.
Which may be hard to say now.
Right.
It's shocking now. Yeah.
Or on so yep. And then I'll take it after you're done. We'll do funny weather memes, of which I have one. MJ, you've got one, correct?
You're muted.
Yeah, I was looking for this.
Okay.
So sorry. Yes, I have.
You do.
one-
And
I have
Maz, you don't have.
two.
You always come with a weather meme. You don't have one this time.
Yeah, this was a crazy week. So yeah,
It wasn't for any of us, so that's good.
I
I'm
know.
glad. I'm glad you were the only one that had a crazy week.
Here's a bus coming by.
Okay, cool. And then I'll do that, and then listener questions, and
That's why I'm
We'll close
drinking
it up.
lemonade tonight.
oh man, they don't know what they're missing. Brady and the girls, right?
That's right.
All right, so we'll do this. I will say this, Maz. So I saw that emoji baiter,
I don't even want to know.
and truthfully, I didn't even think I left it on that sheet because I'm like that doesn't even sound like it could be an obstacle. But I obviously did. But I was gonna, regardless, I was gonna mention it during the breaks just to.
I don't remember. Was it
Let you
an
know.
obstacle?
It's not.
No.
The emoji baiter. No, look it up. You
I
can
was
see.
having audio
will
and
not be
video
doing
problems right then. So.
Use an incognito window when you do.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So coming back to Maz with WX Resources, I will be sharing my screen as well. So okay, here we go, Maz. In
All right.
3, 2.
All right. Welcome back. Well, I think welcome back. But anyway, so welcome
They
back.
all left. They've all left by now.
Yes. WX Resources is coming up next. That's a place you can find some pretty cool websites, with some of the latest technology, just some new tech things that are out there. I love to hear about them because I always check out those sites afterwards anyway. So, Phil, you're going to kick us off for tonight. What do you got?
I am going to kick us off. So I had part of my Christmas presents, or one of my Christmas presents this year. I got an Apple Watch,
Nice.
So this is the third smartwatch I've had, I think, in 3 or 4 years. I went from I had a Pebble, which I really liked the Pebble. It was simple and it was great and it worked. And then I switched to Fitbit came out with, because Fitbit bought Pebble. And so they came out with an Ionic smartwatch, and it was supposed to be like, the next generation Pebble and have all the Fitbit stuff. And it didn't work. It was a pain in the butt. I really didn't like it at all. And so this year I got an Apple Watch, and I was hesitant about even wanting to get one of those because of the battery life of them not being more than a day. And the Fitbit and the Pebble, they were all like 4 or 5 days the battery would last. But I got one anyways, and I mentioned this when I had the Fitbit Ionic because Dark Sky Weather has an app for a lot of smartwatches. It might be called Rain, RAIN, in some of your, what would you call them, app stores. But Dark Sky Weather, what I love about their not only their phone apps, but also their, in this case, a watch app, is it will tell you approximately over the next hour. Like you can see one of the screens I'm showing you, watch screens. It shows you the next hour. It kind of shows you a graph of the rain level, or when it's going to start raining, or when it might end raining, or when it's heavier and lighter. And I love, and they've been really good. I mean, it's been extremely accurate. I've been very impressed with it, as well as showing the next 24 hours. It shows you 2-hour increments. And then you can actually have a watch face that has an analog watch on it with the hour hand, the minute hand, and it will tell you in the next hour, it will show you where the rain is going to be heaviest or lightest, and just on your watch face based on the hour, which is kind of cool as well. So any of you with a smartwatch, look either for Dark Sky or it's called Rain in a lot of cases.
So before you go, that last screen is where it says 90%.
Yes.
Does that mean it's a 90% chance between 4 and 6 or 4 and
Yes.
5:45?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what
that's my understanding. I haven't used that watch face. I know it's available. I haven't used it yet because I just obviously got this a couple days ago. I haven't played with it.
That's
with
a
it
cool
enough,
spin
but
on that. I like that.
yeah, it is. It's kind of a neat way to show that.
So where did you find it? You found it at?
So this is so on my Apple Watch. This is just one of the apps in the Apple Store, Dark Sky Weather.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, MJ, you going to beat that one?
No, probably not. But I'm going to.
He's honest.
But I'm going to give it a shot. Actually, it's this kind of a repeat. I think we've maybe talked about this before, and I know Maz, a couple of episodes ago, you talked about the Weather Underground app. But I'm going to plug their website, and I'm going to plug it because those of you who are watching see it. Those of you who aren't, the Weather Underground, which is wunderground.com for the website, you can pick a location and then you get a little map, you get current conditions, and this is where people who have weather stations, like those from Accurite, our friends at Accurite, you have an Accurite weather station, you can connect it to the Weather Underground, and you'll get a little map of the whole area. And in this case, what you see is my area, and you'll see temperatures around. And if I open that, whoops, that's not where I do it, but if I do it here, if I open it up a little bit, you can see there's all kinds of stations all over the place. And as I get closer to the Twin Cities metropolitan area, there's even more of them. And what I used it for today was we had this storm, right, in the Midwest, the snowstorm, but there was a rain snow line. And of course, I had, a son traveling to work over in the Alexandria area and some other things. And I was kind of interested in keeping track of where is that rain snow line. And when you take all of these personal weather stations together and you look at them, you get a really real-time, accurate look at what the temperature is. And they will overlay it on their map. They'll overlay the radar. And you get a really good opportunity to see exactly where those kinds of conditions are and how they're different. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing, and I thought I would give them a little plug for that, because I found that very useful today.
Yeah, they do a great job there at the Weather Underground.
They do. Yep.
It's very cool. So I'm sure Dina likes it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Job security. All right. So you can find out those and even past episodes, but at least this one in our WX resources on episode 69 show notes on Stormfront Freaks. What are you laughing at? Stormfrontfreaks.com. What?
I'm smiling. I'm not laughing. I'm smiling. I love smiling. It's my favorite.
Make work your favorite. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for that. All right. We also got, we wanted to share with you guys one of our segments, Funny Weather Memes. One of the great things, if you happen to be a weather geek like us, it's always great to have some weather memes saved in your phone or whatever, so that anytime you're on social media or texting somebody, you can pull out one of your funny weather memes that might be relatable to the situation you're in. But we're going to share with you some options of funny weather memes. And MJ, I'm going to go ahead and start with you.
Okay. I have a couple of them, and in fact, it's a whole set of them, and we'll put this up on the show notes from the worldwideinterweb.com funniest winter memes of all time gallery, and there's a whole bunch of them there. But there were a couple of them that struck home, and I'll just describe them quick. One of them was a split picture, and it was a split of a bunch of people in weather hats and parkas and all this kind of thing. And the bottom half was a family having a picnic. And the top one said 50 degrees in San Diego, and the bottom one said 50 degrees in Wisconsin. But you could probably insert Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, anywhere. And I thought that was pretty funny, considering the way that is kind of how people feel. I've been down to, in fact, I was in San Diego one time when it was about 60 degrees out, and I was amazed at the people walking around with hats and mittens and, things like that on.
It's all perspective.
It's all perspective. Yep. And then there's another one, is a car that is completely covered in ice, and there's ice all around on the streets and everything around it. And the windshield wipers are up, and it says, "Good thing I put my wipers up."
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
I've seen that one before. That's cool.
I see a lot of people that try doing that. In fact, I've been known to do that on occasion as well, and I don't think I'll do that anymore. Thanks, MJ, for that. So I've got one to share with you guys as well. Looking up funny weather memes, and this maybe isn't winter related, but it does have to do, if you happen to be a storm chaser, whether you're a winter storm chaser or all year round. But this is an image of an individual, looks like a nerd, looks like a geek. And he's,
that was me.
I know.
On the
I saw that too.
I was working on setting it up, so I apologize for that. But yeah, so if you're watching while I was saying nerd and geek, it was a picture of MJ. But anyway, the actual meme, it says, it's got this geek, he's got his glasses, he's got his little pencil mustache, and then his polo shirt is buttoned all the way up to the top. It's got to be from a movie. I just don't recognize it. But it says, "I saw a storm once from my backyard." And then the bottom said, "So I guess you can say I'm a storm chaser now."
There you go.
Right.
So there you go. So anytime you happen to see a picture of somebody maybe showing clouds in the sky, you can show that meme and say, "Oh, they're a storm chaser now." So, all right. So you can find those and any of our other stuff, any of those links. Again, will be at our website, stormfrontfreaks.com. If you look at the episode 69, look under the show notes, or a lot of times, gang, you can see this stuff on your phone. If you're listening to us on your phone, you can a lot of times just pull the show notes, or will be right there associated with the episode, and all the links. You can click on the links and it'll pull up right on your phone. It's kind of cool. So, all right, with that, we're going to turn it over to MJ for any of our listener comments, feedback.
Yeah, we had a lot of comments this past week or couple of weeks.
We're probably going to get more after this episode, I might think.
We will, and some of them might be questionable. But we want to shout out to a couple of the folks who checked in with us. South Dakota Chick, who goes by @Sioux Falls Chick, says, "Love this show," so thank you for that. @JClick65 says, "Number 68 was great. Love that Jacqueline Whittle, and if you ain't never tried a Caesar, you need to try one." So
yeah, the Canadian Caesar.
Yes, exactly.
Didn't she say that was like a Bloody Mary or something like
I
that?
thought that's what she said it was close to.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll have to check on that. This might be worth a try. At Storm Chaser Ray Leichner says, "I swear every time I need a good laugh lately, this is my go-to."
Do you know what that was in connection to, Mass?
Which one? The comment just now?
The comment he just said now,
Yes.
his go-to for a good laugh
Go-to?
is always the episode with Rick Reichmuth and our lightning round burger position lightning
Oh
round.
man.
Yeah, look at we're bringing joy to so many people's lives. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm sweating still from that.
At Dynamo Hum, Tom Kane says, "You guys should try to get." He gives us a suggestion. You guys should try to get Cleveland's greatest weatherman, Dick Goddard. So, if Dick,
and and also in relation to that, that's a good plug, MJ, for our theme for next year. Is going to be coast to coast with your favorite local TV meteorologist.
Oh, cool.
So what we're going to try and do next year, and we're already booked almost through May at this point, but like every other show, we've got local area meteorologists from different parts of the country, as well as Puerto Rico and Canada, that we're going to be having on to just kind of get some different weather feedback from different parts of really North America is what it's going to be. But so that'll be cool. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and that might be a good one to add.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. So thank you, Tom, for that suggestion. Awesome. Bill O'Rourke says, "Hi all, Merry Christmas," and I'll say, "Hi all, Happy New Year."
Yeah, there you go.
For this one. And then finally at Parker K. Owens says, "You guys did an awesome job this year. Great guests and definitely got a laugh every show. Can't wait for what's coming up next year."
Me too.
We probably have a little information coming up for you, Parker, here in a moment.
Yes, we will. I'm trying to see if I'm necessarily. I'm not necessarily saying a whole lot about next year. We are going to be having some big announcements, which I'll cover. But unless you guys have anything else to throw in?
No, good.
All right, so I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening and watching. Before I reveal our next guests, and that's plural guests, if you enjoy our show, do us a favor. Leave us a great review on your podcast app. And don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. It works just like a magazine or newspaper subscription, except it's free. All you got to do is hit subscribe, and it assures you get the latest episode in your podcast inbox the minute it gets released. So it'll show up right away for you. I do want to do a special shout out and special thanks to our guest Joe Moravsky, who put up with a lot of us tonight. So Joe, thanks for joining us because he was a lot of fun there. I almost hit the wrong answer button again. And if you're listening to the edited show, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we'll keep going. Our next episode is going to be in 2 weeks. We'll be recording, guys, season 4.0. Can you believe that? Wow. Season 4.0. It'll be on January 10th with owner Nathan Moore and Vice President Carrie Meltzer of the Storm Video Brokers SVL Media.
Oh, cool.
They're going to be with us. Yeah. So if you'd like to watch the recording live, you can do so at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Just check us out on our YouTube channel by searching Stormfront Freaks on YouTube. You can find us there. Also, keep an eye on our Twitter and other social media accounts for our top 10 countdown of the biggest shows in 2018. We'll be on New Year's Eve. We'll be doing those, and they'll be on there if you check us out afterwards too. But you can see the top 10 shows we had in 2018. We had some great ones, and we've got some big announcements for 2019 that will be coming as well. So make sure search us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Search Stormfront Freaks, and you can find us there. A little more active on Twitter if you want to get more information. So that'll be coming soon. But for MJ, for Maz, myself, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear. We'll catch you guys in 2019. Good night, everybody. Happy New Year. And we're done.
That's a wrap.
Oh, man.
That was good. That was good. Joe was good, man. He's a good egg. He's a good egg.
No kidding.
He did great job. He did a great job.
He did.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Especially for springing that segment on him. Oh, man.
He loved it.
man.
You could tell he loved it, man.
Yeah, but like he said, I got a lot of kids following me. And I was like, oh, no.
Toy. Well, all we said was toy
Toy.
or obstacle.
Yeah.
Toy or obstacle.
Man.
That's all right, man. We're educational in many ways. We're not just educational on a weather standpoint. We can be educational in many ways. Yep. You have a hard time talking to your young one about the birds and the bees? Tune in to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
I don't know if I'd add that to our bio.
Bio, that's going to be our tagline. What are you talking about?
man.
I didn't tell you 2019 tagline? That was going to be the tagline. It's good to throw in some of that every once in a while. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. Oh,
Okay.
I know you've got that emoji baiter in your drawer
You
next
do,
to your bed. I know you do.